Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Katie Garner. You know, you usually see me in the mornings on News4JAX, and if you saw me this morning, you know on TV that we were talking about these storms and showers that are coming in tomorrow. But thank you so much for streaming with us live on the app. I'm so glad you're here, and we're going to go live here for a long period of time because I think it's really good after the show when we've got more time to cover exactly what's happening so you can get prepped up for your weekend. This is a big system. I want to start with this morning. You know, we've seen our fair share of rain out there. These were sprinkles. This was not anything that was detrimental. You're still going to see a little rain, but it's a completely different system today than what we're going to have coming in. These showers that we saw came in off the coast, and they will continue to do so throughout the day today, but it's only a 30% chance. Temperature-wise, we're at 54 in Jacksonville, 59 in the west side in Orange Park, and really, we had a lot of wind reports yesterday into today. That was all thanks to an area of high pressure that was just north of us, and it brought in a lot of windy conditions and cooler temperatures. Well, now that that's getting out of here and we're clearing out, I'll go ahead and tell you we have a few showers up here on the northeast side of Jacksonville, but this is what's coming in. We've got this weekend soaker. It's a Gulf gale and it's headed our way. And I know you're probably like, what? Well, let me explain it to you. Okay, so there's an area low that's going to develop into Saturday, and you could see the track. It comes right up into Jacksonville. The reason this is such a problem is because it's going to bring the imminent threat of high winds, a small probability for a potential tornado, of course, very heavy rain that's going to lead to localized flooding. And I kind of want to break it down for you because here's that low. So starting tomorrow, this will develop. The rain will increase throughout the day. It'll get much heavier overnight. And I think that's what scares me as a meteorologist the most about this. A nocturnal rain event is very scary because you cannot see anything, right? So that's where we encourage you to download our app because we've got you covered all night long. The alerts, should any pop up, watches, warnings, advisories, will come straight to your phone and you will know exactly what to do and how to do it. The best thing you can do before tomorrow, prepare a kit. Get some snacks, get a flashlight, get anything you think should potentially go in that kit. And that way, if your power goes out, which is highly probable it could because the winds are really going to pick up, you will be okay. I've really been studying the GFS model and the European model. And with saying that, I'm going to get into Sunday now because as this progressively moves up, this is why I think your power could go out. We're going to have really heavy rain Sunday morning. So I know some of you probably go to church or you like brunch, maybe both. You're going to get washed out. But by Sunday evening for the game, if you're going to the Jags game, you look to be okay. I mean, there's still a small chance for like a shower or two, but you really look to be okay. Saving the worst for last, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, okay? With that being said, we're going to have major winds on Saturday and into Sunday, okay? In fact, I tracked a gust potential for Sunday at 54 miles an hour. With the ground being so saturated, and this all coming through, okay, and all of these factors, let me explain what's going to likely happen. When the ground has 4 or 5 inches of rain come down, it can be even less than that, and you have a weak tree, and these could be big trees, they can become uprooted and topple over. When that happens, could take down some power lines, you could see localized flooding. The wind is a really dangerous part of what we're about to see come through here. And then by Monday, you're breezy, but you do clear out and the sun comes back out, which is great. So again, we've got this gale warning, and this is what we look like right now. So 2 separate systems, as I mentioned. We've got these showers coming in off the coast, and then of course we're going to have this Gulf storm forming, and you can certainly see the front that's kind of contributing to this and that area of high pressure that's continuing to push off to the north that provided us with all of that wind, okay? Now, we got to get into the severe storm threat because I know that's a big question of, okay, where are we at with the severity? Well, this is interesting, and Chief Meteorologist Richard Nunn and I were talking about this a little earlier. Sometimes we tell you there's a marginal risk, which is this darker green, by the way, of severe storms, and you might think, oh my gosh, that's the worst. It's really, it's not. It's something we need to watch, but actually if we were in a slight risk, which would be the yellow, that would mean the threats would become more imminent. Right now, under this marginal risk, it's a level 2 risk of severity. But as you look up here, there's just a risk for general storms. I don't say that lightly. I think any kind of storm you're at risk for with this particular system is going to be a really big deal. But by Sunday, everybody pretty much is at risk for general storms, aside from the coastline here. Now, this probably looks familiar to you because we had a wind advisory in this area just yesterday. We have been getting pounded with the wind, and we are going to soon get pounded with rain on top of the wind. So over the next 3 days, we have steady afternoon rain tomorrow, and it gets heavier into the evening. Watch closely at the timeline here. This is by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of this kind of rises up, and this takes us into Sunday afternoon as well. You saw how much heavier that rain got overnight, and that is what makes me nervous for you if you're not prepared. And you will be prepared if you stay with our team, you download our app, and you let us keep you updated, because we will do that. We're always going to be on top of it for you. Now, as we look into Sunday, you do have that morning rain leading into the afternoon, but then it gets out of here by about 2 o'clock. Okay, and then by Monday, you're clearing and sunny. We will need that sunshine. It's going to take a couple of days to dry out from what we're going to get rain-wise, which I will talk about. But first, I think it's really imperative to cover your hour by hour. You guys know the drill. Today is fine. These showers are fine. Does it look pretty outside? No, but it's not like it's detrimental. As we get into Saturday, this is by 5 a.m., 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. That's when the rain really kind of starts, and it'll start on a light note, okay? But then you'll see it on the rise here. This is by 6 o'clock in the evening. Any kind of date night or any kind of night with the kids, whatever they've got, you'll want to bring it inside, okay? You're going to have to, as a matter of fact. As we get into the overnight hours, you see how the colors turn even purple. That is the heaviest amount of rain we can get, and it's going to come down in droves. It just is. There's no way around it. So this is by 11 o'clock Saturday. As we get into the overnight hours, you could see this particular low kind of churning in. And as it does, Sunday by 5 a.m., even 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m., the showers are still heavy. By the noon hour, it's starting to improve. But again, by 2 o'clock, most of it's out. Most of it, though, goes into southeast Georgia, even by your dinner hour. So the model has actually extended a little bit, even from when we were just on at about 9 o'clock this morning. And that happens. That will happen. Weather changes. It's all dependent on the movement of this particular system. But why I say that you're going to be okay at the game is because this is 6 o'clock. Well, this is where the stadium is. So you should be just fine. So don't worry about that. I don't think that's going to be what you're worried about, though. I think we're going to be a little more worried about some bigger issues like flooding. So we have totals that are going to come in. Now, this did take into Monday at 2 a.m. I want you to know something. This rain really discontinues into Sunday. Nonetheless, I want to show you the totals because you're going to have almost 4.5 inches of rain likely in Waycross, 4.5 likely in Lake City, 3.5 in Jacksonville, although I was looking at a few other models. I really like to compare many models, take that median number, I hope that makes sense, and kind of see what we think total-wise. I'm sure it does. If you have questions, you guys can always email me. I love it. But here's what I mean. So this particular model has us at 3.5 inches. I'm going to lean closer to 4.5 for parts of Jacksonville, potentially on the north side, but we shall see. So your Jags forecast, because I know this is important, 8:20 is the kickoff, 60 degrees for kickoff, okay? 57 by the fourth quarter, and your rain will have faded by that point. But you are still windy, and that is where more danger comes in because the ground does not just get unsaturated when that rain stops, right? No, so the winds are going to be a big factor. Currently, we have sustained winds in the teens in some spots, but I want to point this out. I'm taking you to Sunday at 3 o'clock. This is when the majority of that system has moved out, right? But you might be tailgating. This is when some of these are sustained winds, by the way, move in. And they will have been with us all weekend, but when the rain is out of here, but you still have winds like this, you still have concerns with power outages and, of course, major issues with, hey, is that tree going to uproot? Well, it could. And, as we get into Sunday night even, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, we're still seeing sustained winds in the 20s. And even Monday, the winds pick up as well into the teens and 20s. Sustained winds, gusts will be higher. So your rain forecast totals out at 90% for Saturday and Sunday, and that's a really big deal. So again, a little bit on radar today, but this is just prep for what's to come. Obviously, if you have allergies, just wanted to show you your pollen quickly, give you your hour by hour for today. Noon to 6 o'clock, you're going to be in the 50s and 60s. And as we plan out your day, you could see that, yes, some rain's going to be coming down, but it's nothing like what we're going to see tomorrow. This is impressive. This impressed me, although it came down a little bit from where we were at. Sunday morning into the evening, this morning we had winds that were thought to be in the 30-mile-an-hour range sustained. Now we're back in the 20s, but our gusts are still in the mid-30s. And as you plan, as a low-pressure system typically does, it can bring in milder air, right? Yeah. So that's why that 70-degree temperature is on here. Well, once that system moves out on Sunday, we get back into the colder air and sunshine for next week. I do want to make a mention. that Tuesday and Wednesday, you better cover those plants because if you don't, they might die. And you want to bring the pets inside too because we've got lows in the 30s. But that's a look at what we're dealing with. I hope there's some clarity there. I know it's a lot to take in. Let me just say, Saturday is a complete wash. You've got to make your plans inside. Sunday, you want to have dinner outside or something? Yeah, you want to go watch the game? Sure, do it. But tomorrow, I need you to be on high alert and I want you to put your trust in us. We love our viewers. We want to keep you so safe. And gosh, I love that you're with me streaming right now. I think it's a great way for us to be in touch with you off air, or off TV, I should say, and in the streaming world, because we're going to connect with you any way we can. And I'm going to make sure that you have all the information you need. I've got an Instagram, I've got a Facebook, I've got the website, I've got an email. You have all the possible ways to get in touch with me and our entire team. And trust me, we're going to be checking for any questions you might have. So again, I'm meteorologist Katie Garner. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be looking at your questions in just a few minutes. How long was that?